edges or singularities. In that case, the beginning of time would be a regular, smooth point of space-time, and the universe would have begun its expansion in a very smooth and ordered state. So from quantum theory of gravity, where we basically don't have to deal with the singularity because of quantum ways of doing things, the imaginary time thing we talked about in the last chapter and such, perhaps it's a very smooth smooth regular point in space-time. And then it does actually start with a smooth and ordered state, being the Big Bang. Stephen, hello. Yes, Doro is here. Stephen, can you like the live? Thank you so much for being here. And can we please like the live? Thank you. It could not have been completely uniform because that would violate the uncertainty principle of quantum theory. There had to be small fluctuations in the density and velocities of particles. The no boundary condition, however, implied that these fluctuations were as small as they could be, consistent with the uncertainty principle. So the universe would have started off with a period of exponential or inflationary expansion in which it would have increased its size by a very large factor. So we've talked about the inflationary era, where the universe was expanding a lot. Wow! I have the first 2 pages of my book on Instagram for you to read. Oh my gosh! Well, tell us your Instagram account. During this expansion, the density fluctuations would have remained small at first. So remember how the universe, when described by the cosmic microwave background radiation, when we talk about the early universe, it's basically a smooth universe, but it has these little fluctuations, or what we call overdensities, or what we call little uncertainty and little changes or little departures from the from the point where things had to be in order to be totally homogeneous for the position and velocity and whatnot. And those eventually led to galaxies and stars and us. So during this expansion, we're talking about the expansion of the universe, the density fluctuations would have remained small at first. So those density fluctuations that we talked about earlier as well would have remained small at first, but later would have started to grow. So even the fluctuations, which may have been small at first, but would have started to grow. My username is, ooh, very nice. But do stay in the live now, and you can always go back to, you can always go check out Stephen's Instagram later on. Congratulations, Stephen, for the launch of your book on Instagram. And we look forward to seeing it grow and grow. Stephen T. Spears, is that your middle name? Is it with a T? Is it Tom? Is it Timothy? Thomas? Therius? Okay, we'll keep reading. All right, so during this expansion, the density fluctuations would have remained small at first, but later would have started to grow. Very nice, Stephen. Regions in which... I guessed it. Thomas. Wow. Regions in which the density was slightly higher than average would have had their expansion slowed down by the gravitational attraction of the extra mass. Eventually, such regions would stop expanding and collapse to form galaxies, stars, and beings like us. So remember that if you give gravitation a chance, if you keep expanding and there's no inhomogeneities, then gravitation never wins and never gets a chance to clump together matter and form galaxies and stars and us, right? But if something happens when there's a fluctuation and there's an overdensity and the fluctuation also increases, eventually such regions would stop expanding and collapse to form galaxies, stars, and beings